Match Day Live. So Luton leads City 1-0 at the break. I'm still joined in the studio by Joleon Lescott and by Keith Curle. And your immediate reaction was, Joleon, to that goal. That's the worst time in football to score.
No, yeah, it literally is. It's been recognised as the worst time to concede, which obviously evidently means the best time to score. So regardless of the scoreline as well, because obviously you're going in there, adrenaline now, and just deflates obviously the opposition, which in this case will be City.
Changes the manager's mentality straight away as well, doesn't it? At 0-0 you could be quite comfortable and quite calm. At 1-0 down, right, it's not all done and dusted, but at 1-0 down, it changes your mindset as a manager, because then you get that intensity and that urgency. We need to get a goal, and we need to get a goal quickly.
Could they spend 15 minutes now being riled up and angry and come out, though, out the blocks?
Potentially, yeah. But I don't think we've played that bad. So, yeah, Luton have been compact, which you expect due to the domination and possession of City. But I think you normally get angry when you're disappointed in your performance. And I don't think they will be disappointed in the performance, because it's not been terrible. They've created opportunities. Arguably should have scored from a couple of chances, but been controlled as well. I know Luton have been compact and tried to press and tried to rush us, but it hasn't been the case. And if they were going to score, it was going to come through that style. Direct, great bit of skill from Ross Barkley, we touched on in terms of a talent. And then Andreas Townsend, he's tried to get crosses in the box, and probably Guardiola could force him down the line and keep him going the line. And for that, just helps the fellow defenders recognise the predictability of the play. I think if you keep him down the line, you know it's only going to come there. Wherever he comes back inside, it's like he can go anywhere, and he's done that and obviously ended up in the net. Yeah,
we touched on Ross Barkley. He did really well in the middle of the park there to start that Luton run for the goal. How do you assess the Luton goal, and in particular, Keith, give us the sort of defender's perspective on the way that City handled it?
Well, again, I think it's old school, win the ball in midfield, get the ball wide, and get a delivery from a wide area, which is what they've done. And they've got the numbers in the box as well. So they've shown, they're working on their defensive shape and setup. But when they do get the opportunity to get forward, get the ball wide, put the ball in the box, which is what they've done. Hey, it's a good goal from them. My first look, which is always, I look at the goalkeeper, think, could he have got there? Because you think it's only 2.5 yards out when the lad's headed it, but he's at the near post. He's got to cover that near post for the cross first of all, and then he can't make up that ground to get to the back stick. Adebayor, the size of him is going to outjump most fullbacks in that area. You've got to say credit to them. They've defended well. They've held their shape. They've been walked through a couple of times, and you think, like, another half chance, City straight back in the game. Luton, before that, they've had one half chance, a scramble, one shot from Townsend from 25 yards straight down the middle of the goal. Haven't really offered anything, but they take a lot of credit for the first 45 minutes because of the scoreline now.
He's got an incredible jump on him, Adebayo, there for that. We've seen it all season with him. But in terms of this particular the City defenders, am I being harsh in thinking that I would want more of a challenge from them?
You could say that, and you always anticipate that. And when you're looking at it again in a replay and in slow motion, it's easier to suggest that. From a defensive point of view, and Keith taught me this, whenever the striker could see your number, you wasn't in control. And as soon as that happened, then Diaz is in no man's land. Whether he tries to go around the front, by the time he would have seen him, would have been too late. Or if he pulls off even further, which he kind of did, then he can't compete. And I think aesthetically, if you look at the back four, it's not in a bad shape, but as they all say, shape doesn't score, and you have to kind of disassociate yourself from your partner, whether Diaz and Ake are in good positions, like looking on paper. Adebayo is pulled off, so you kind of have to then create a bigger gap and just get tight. And yeah, it's just unfortunate because as a defender, you just get into an area where you think it's more dangerous, but if the ball's slightly overhit, which I think it is, all of a sudden, that's the danger. I
think it's one of those, being a centre-back, it's when to mark a man and when to mark space. Because you can't suddenly vacate the middle of the pitch there. Well, my man's gone there, I've got to go there and leave a gaping hole in front of you. So you try and get that balance right of being in that area there, half turn so you can half try and see him, and then you're thinking, then you need your fullback to come in tighter as well and try and put him off from getting a standing jump. If you have a look at him, he's heading it just inside the goal.
So that's the thoughts of Keith Curle and Joleon Lescott on the first 45 minutes. We're going to go over to Kenilworth Road now, where FG is pitchside with a couple of our legends.
Yes, welcome to Kenilworth Road. We are in our position. It's half time. I'm joined by Gareth Taylor and Sean Goater. Gareth, first half, A lot of possession, a few chances, and then the header we've conceded in the last minute.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give Luton real credit. They came out and really engaged against City, player for player. There's a lot of space behind, but their goalkeeper is really playing a high line as well. So, you know, if we'd have kept it till 0-0, it's a bit of a sucker punch, that one at the end. But I still think there's going to be real chances in the second half. And I think this Luton team will tire playing this type of game. I think City are being really compact in what they're doing. Maybe some more shots from the edge of the box. But Phil's picking up some really good positions, and if they can maintain that and try not to panic too much, I think we could see them turning it around in the second half.
Absolutely, and over to you, Sean. So, I mean, we're looking at Julian Alvarez. He'll be licking his lips at the chances. I mean, like you said, a lot of the ball, like Gareth said. And do you think chances will come in the second half?
Yes, it's interesting looking at Alvarez. I mean, he had the one chance with Foden. They slipped him in. He's going across the near post. It's a difficult one to generate any real power. But it's interesting because, as Gareth said, there's space in behind, and I think there's space either for Alvarez to make a run as though he's going one direction and then go the opposite. But then that understanding of when that ball could be delivered. Or alternatively, it's almost having Grealish making a run inside, creating space for him to go on the outside. So there's many options that City can utilise, and that could be with an outfield player or with Addison. Being able to deliver that, because they are really high. So I think there's opportunities, and I wouldn't be surprised even if Foden played in that higher role, because Foden looks to make runs in behind. So I think we've got many options, so still in good hands.
I think we're okay as well, Gareth. So, I mean, you won't really change much as well going into the second half. It's just a case of, like you said, you expect this Luton side, they are working so hard. We're in such a great position to see how hard they're working. You expect chances to open up and space to appear, which it has done here in previous games.
Yeah, it has done. I mean, they've been really brave in what they've done. They played differently against Arsenal, a little bit more compact, but sometimes when you look, and sometimes you might not see this on the television from the coverage, but there's so much space, almost like 2 for 2 on the back line at times. Like you say, if they're able to kind of make those runs, Alvarez making use of Jack coming deeper and exploiting that space. But like I say, they're playing a really high risk game, Luton, at the moment. And I think City just need to persist with their game at the moment for the time being, stay in the game, don't give anything else away. And I think chances will open up the longer the game goes on, because fatigue will set in for the Luton players, there's no doubt. The energy they've had to give in that first half has been like really high.
Well, it's always nice to speak to two absolute legends and two coaches, shall I say. Second half coming up, but we'll be back in full time.
Thank you to FG there with Gareth Taylor and with Sean Goater. They are at Kenilworth Road today. They're having a Legends Day out. They went down on a minibus Brighton early alongside Andy Morrison, Nicky Weaver and Paul Dickoff as well. So all of them played the last time City played at Kenilworth Road. It was a 1-1 draw that day. I don't want a 1-1 draw today, despite being 1-0 down at half-time. Because if we're looking at the positives, Joleon, we dominated the possession. We had plenty of chances. Before Luton scored, I was thinking, we just need to be patient. It's coming.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's still the case. It's not kind of gung-ho yet. Obviously, the last stages, or the closer you get to the end, then you become more desperate as a fan, as a player, as a coach. So anticipate that. But for now, more of the same. Again, creating opportunities, probably just wrong decisions in terms of execution at the end. But yeah, I wouldn't be too worried if I'm Pep. He seemed relatively composed. I know he was addressing certain things with the referee, but I think if he was flustered, I think he runs in and he's a bit more determined to get into and address things, but overall, I wouldn't be too concerned.
So sometimes managers can use that as a distraction as well, because then you're going in there and you're ranting and raging about a referee's decision, whether it's 2 minutes, whether 2.5 minutes or anything like that. But that can cause a distraction for the players, for them to get in and get settled, and then you can compose yourself. And sometimes I've done it myself, where you give one of your staff a bollocking. And while you're giving him a bollocking, you're thinking about how you're going to approach the players and turn it very quickly. Yeah, it's a negative because they've just conceded, but you need to go out on a positive front foot and say, look, we're good enough to go and get goals against this team. I think they're going to sit in and they're probably going to defend the width of their 6-yard box. So you need to get the ball wide quickly and spread them out and move the ball from side to side and get that penetrating run and pass through will cause them problems.
Thank you. Now, FG is down at Kenilworth Road just now. He's got some special prizes that he's been giving out to some special City fans.
All right, of course, our travelling fans are super, super important here at Man City. They've travelled so far. We've got a couple of surprises for them. We've got the legends to sign some retro shirts. So let's head into the away end, speak to a couple of them, and give them a nice little souvenir to take home with them. Follow me. We're walking into the seated part of the away end. And I'm falling over, by the way, right? And I'm going to come over here. Hello, sir.
Oh,
how are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate.
Obviously, we're losing the game, of course, but, I mean, to get a ticket for this fixture, you must have some absolutely special memories being a City fan.
Yeah, one or two, yeah, very much so, but we need to improve for the second half.
We do indeed. Now, listen, of course, we really, really appreciate your support. Right. So we've got a little something special to give to you actually today, which is we've got some legends here. We've brought the team of 98-99 down.
Oh,
so we've got them to sign a retro shirt.
Oh, that's very kind.
And we want to give that to you and share that with you to take home as a lovely souvenir.
That's very kind of you, much appreciated.
Well, thank you so much for your support.
Lovely.
Keep being loud and proud, and enjoy the second half.
Nice one. Cheers, buddy. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you.
And I'm going to come over here to Mr. Mike, who's travelled absolutely everywhere and watched Manchester City everywhere. Mike, not the best first half, but it's a great time to be a City fan, isn't it?
Well, it's wonderful, and we got beat here in the cup years ago when I came and Dennis Law scored, so yeah, everything's wonderful.
It's always wonderful as a City fan, and your support's absolutely wonderful. So we've got a little surprise for you. We've got a signed shirt from the 98-99 team we'd like to share with you. So that's a lovely souvenir for you to take home.
How kind of that? So how wonderful.
And thank you so much for your support.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. There you go, my friend. Enjoy the second half.
Love those prizes that we're giving away today to those two lucky fans. But also I loved seeing FG trip up on the stairs in the middle of that. That was wonderful. That brought a very much needed smile to all of our faces here. As you can see, the players are starting to come back out. There's Pep, there's his team. He'll have said something magic to them. So second half commentary available on the Manchester City app. Get on there now. Alistair, Mann and Steve Howie will take you through the second half. We'll all be back at full time, where hopefully we are talking about a wonderful Manchester City dominant comeback in the second half. Don't panic yet, Blues. 45 minutes to come. Trust in Pep always. Right, we're going to go over to Alistair Mann now and we'll see you at full time.
Thank you, Natalie. Apologies for calling you Kel momentarily at the end of that first half. Anyway, well, we want good signs, we want